Physically, I'm a dream. Emotionally, I'm a mess.
You might want to take a pause before you poke this bear. Hello!
I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear, and welcome to The Real Housebears.
Potty yaddy 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 yaddy. Cast.
I love that so very much. I love that so very much. I cannot hear that song without twerking.
Without twerking, you have
like,
to.
If I'm in my seat, if I'm in my car, I don't care what I'm doing. I mean, you've seen it around the house. You can
You can't help it.
I told you that you were a hoe.
Megan Thee Stallion has created just a
Bonnie.
twerking pop hit.
Like, it's hard.
Like, she barely says anything in it, but I can't get enough of it.
I like when she says, num, 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 eat it up.
Hot meat coming through.
Well, we, first of all, welcome back. We're sorry that we missed a week.
We've been gone for
Since
a while.
we've been gone.
But, you know, life happens.
Life does happen. To be honest with you, the truth of the matter was that I did not respond very well to my second shot of the vaccine. I'm so glad I have the vaccine. I am now almost to my 14 days and I'm free to hug people and I'm excited about that. So I would much rather not feel so great. But nonetheless, it took about a full day out of my week, and we just had to spend the weekend catching up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then we did adult stuff.
We did real adult stuff.
Yes, we went and bought some new furniture.
Yes, our first big purchase as a married couple. That was very
It's
exciting.
the first time I've actually paid for any kind of furniture in my life. I've never bought everything's been hand-me-downs or something like that my mom got me at a yard sale.
Right.
Just stuff I've accumulated over the years.
I know. Look at us.
Like
We're
a
big
hodgepodge.
adults. I changed the garbage disposal in the sink.
I hung some shelves.
I mean, we
were so butch.
real adults. But the good thing is also that while I was sick, I got to catch up on a lot of Bravo.
Yes, and we have a new favorite show. Like, I love this new show.
Oh, and it's not even Bravo. It's HBO Max.
This is HBO Max, but it has something to do with Housewives.
Yes, The Big Shot with Bethany.
Yes, The Big Shot with Bethany Frankel.
So, I mean, a lot of you know that Hunter generally, when I first met him, was very resistant to reality television, and Vanderpump Rules was his gateway drug to the Housewives.
Very much so.
So when Big Shot with Bethany was coming out, I was so very excited because, my favorite Housewives city other than Salt Lake is New York City. That's my favorite. So when Big Shot with Bethany came out, I was so excited. But I was like, oh no, what if Hunter doesn't want to watch it? What am I going to do?
Well, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just a reality show following around her business. And I was like, I don't want to watch her just be successful. I don't want that. But the show is actually like a contest.
It's intense.
It is so, right away, she fires 4 people right off the bat.
Yeah, she doesn't play.
She does not play. And she's like, I just want to throw him like a curveball. Maybe I should fire another one. And she does pretty much.
I mean,
she just keeps firing people. And this new, this crowd of kids, basically, and one older woman that are auditioning for this part of being the second in command of her business.
Yeah,
I don't feel like
Bethany's right-hand person.
I don't feel like any of them are up to the challenge so far.
Oh my gosh, it was
The first episode was so intense, and then the second episode gets even more intense, and then they leave you on a cliffhanger, so we have to wait.
Yeah, there's a very wild character who's made it. It's what I love about it, it's like The Apprentice, but you can cuss.
Yes.
On HBO Max,
it's so good. It's so good. Bethany Frankel is so sharp and so quick.
My gosh.
And she has kind of a dry humor where it's she's kind of being mean, but it's funny.
Right, yeah.
It's so good. I really like the show, and I think all of y'all, if you have HBO Max, to go check it out.
I'm already, we already, when's the next episode
I
come
know.
out? If anyone knows what day of the week the episodes come out, send us a tweet or a DM or a whatever. We asked Alexa earlier, and she didn't know.
She had no clue.
She was like,
fools, I don't know.
I don't do HBO Max. What about Amazon Prime? Let me tell you about that.
Your Amazon order has been delivered.
I like Alexa, quit talking back.
She has notifications a lot.
I know. Well, because we keep buying stuff. Well, so since we did miss a week, of course, we have 2 episodes to catch up on, which I'm kind of glad because, to be honest with you, I feel like these 2 episodes had a lot of emotional punch, but they didn't really drive the story.
No, there wasn't a big storyline for it.
Yeah,
at all.
there was a lot. This whole Teresa missing her mom situation.
Very
and
sad.
All of it just really was heart-wrenching. But again, there's not I guess I'm glad there just wasn't a lot of drama.
I mean, even drama got squashed.
Yeah, Jackie and Teresa are like best friends now, and like they are standing next to each other in like every scene now.
Yeah.
It's so wild. But let's go ahead and start into episode 10, Sinking Ships.
Oh my.
I want to go on a fancy yacht.
I want to go on a fancy yacht too. How come we don't know more rich people?
I know. Why don't we know
We
more
need
rich
more
people?
Oh, but you know what? We totally forgot. We just hung out with our like best friend, Heather Gay. Actually, Drether Hardinwood was reconnected again.
Yes, we got to have
Dre, Heather, Bear, and me.
Yes, Drether Hardinwood had a fantastic Friday night this weekend.
Yes, we went out, had drinks because I guess one of their employees was going away. And
Yes.
good luck on your adventures in San Diego.
I miss those girls when we're not hanging out.
Those girls are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like they're all like so perfect, and they're all so sweet and nice and kind, and we made new friends and got to see the old friends that we saw at the that party that we went to, the season finale. There we go.
Right, yeah. So
it was kind of fun, nonchalantly. We were kind of hanging out with her,
And I can't wait for season 2 of Salt Lake City.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going crazy.
I'm not going to say anything.
All right, well, let's get back to Jersey. We got 2 episodes. You do this every time.
Wow.
You got too many stories to tell.
I love stories.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, that was one of the weakest apologies I've ever seen.
So we start off, everyone's getting ready to go to the yacht, owned by Margaret's ghostwriter.
Yes.
And I need to start writing books.
I know, geez.
I wonder if she is a solo income person and is balling that big by writing books.
I didn't see a man next to her.
Or a female.
Or a female. I'm not going to say anything.
I don't know, because I was like, man, is that the kind of money you make from writing books?
I mean, if you're hitting like New York Times bestsellers, like
that's incredible.
I'm sure it's pretty intense.
I love it. So Jackie's kids are helping her pick out a yacht outfit, but she picks out a dress with naked people on it. Alexis and Hudson are like, no, you got naked.
There's naked people on it.
Little kids just think that's the funniest thing.
Oh, they giggle about it.
Yeah, it's not like it's art or
it's
anything.
like, or if they run
fashion.
into like the Kama Sutra.
Kama Sutra. Yeah.
Like you just giggle at all the pictures.
Yeah. And then just like every scene that has Margaret and Joe B, it starts off with Margaret going, Joe! Every single scene, it just starts.
Joe!
Margaret going, Joe! He's eating a bowl of cannoli for breakfast.
I know.
That gave me sugar shock.
I just love it that Margaret's going down to her husband to see if this outfit's yachty enough. Yada, 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 yada. And he's just like, yeah, that's good, great. And I'm just like, why are you asking him? You dress him.
Right? She's like, what are we going to talk about on camera? Let's talk about me and my fashion.
I do like how they play around with each other.
I did too.
Joke
I
around
think
with
they're
each
fun.
other.
They're fun.
I think they have a good marriage.
Yeah, they seem to be able to give each other a hard time and take it just as good as they give it.
But poor guy is just savaging through the house trying to find some kind of
Someone
food.
give me food.
Because she's never made breakfast for him.
I know.
And she's like, well, good, you never made breakfast for me.
Right? So Margaret's a little nervous about, like, she's going to read a very revealing chapter, the chapter about her sleeping with her boss that Jennifer Aiden kind of very much gave her a hard time about just a few episodes ago.
I think she's nervous, but the driving fuel to like rub it in Jennifer's face for being an asshole is gonna drive her to be like, oh yeah, I totally want to read this part.
Yeah, but she's a little nervous because Melissa Gorga is not there to be like her ally against Jennifer.
She's sick.
Yeah, Melissa Gorga. She doesn't. She's.
But do you think she was sick, or do you think it was an excuse?
I mean, what would she be trying to avoid?
Well, maybe her and Joe got into a fight that day.
Oh my goodness, you are stirring it up.
That's what I heard from somebody down down the road that has a cousin, and their sister's second cousin from that one is their best friends. Boss told them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it likely was the truth.
100%.
I need you to admit this is a lie.
Okay. And then cut to Dolores telling Frankie about her biopsy. She didn't want to tell him because it's girl stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dolores, we know that's not why you didn't tell him.
And I think she also has a little bit of guilt for letting it go to this point where she does have a scare like this. And so she's kind of embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
But Frankie is such a good kid. Like, first of all, he's studying like a maniac and he likes it. Like,
Who likes studying?
oh my gosh. But he like gives her a huge hug and is like, please keep me informed on this. Like, I want to know what's going on in your life. I'm a little upset that I'm just now finding out about it.
Right.
But at least he didn't find it out from like Teresa or Jackie or, anyone else.
I love seeing these kids becoming the adults.
They have that episode out with all the kids on.
Oh, I want to watch what happens live this
Yeah.
next week.
Is
Or
it
this
next
coming week. It's this coming week,
Okay,
yes.
I'm actually interested in seeing
I
that.
am I'm making sure to DVR every single episode this week so we don't miss it.
Okay.
I know it'll be on demand anywhere, but I ain't missing it.
Yes.
It's going to be a good week of Watch What Happens Live. And, well, even back to the kids being the adults, just at the beginning of the season, when Teresa immediately calls Gia and tells her about the thing, Gia was like, well, what did you do?
Yeah, she's like, we know that there's two sides to the story.
So I like watching the kids growing up. And then speaking of Gia, then Teresa walks into Gia's room and tells Gia about Yacht Day. We find out that Margaret's ghostwriter is the same as Teresa's ghostwriter. And now Teresa's had several best-selling books.
Yes.
So she's
She's
making
making
some
money.
serious coin from that.
Yeah, it's so funny that Gia's like making fun of her dad because her dad doesn't text her. He sends voice messages. And she's like I text him. How come he doesn't text me back?
I don't. I need to start doing voice messages. That's so much easier, though.
But also, I was saying, like, listen, one day you're going to really appreciate those little voice messages and stuff because one day your parents are going to be gone and you're going to want to hear those.
So Teresa starts asking about Joe's girlfriend, and Gia tells Teresa about the first time she met Joe's girlfriend and how nervous and neurotic Joe was.
Yeah.
And so, and then Melania comes in needing a ride to practice, and oddly enough, she's on the phone with Joe. Like,
yes.
That's weird. So Teresa's like, I heard about Gia meeting your girlfriend.
And savagely, he's like, well, I heard she met your boyfriend.
Ow.
And her face, she was so upset that her daughter said anything.
She's in shock. I'm like, so far you've told your kids and Melissa and Joe, and you expect no one to be telling anybody else?
And also, you're on a TV show. Like, come on, girl, just give it out. Like,
But both-
I understand that she wants to, like, take it slow.
Yeah,
But,
and she doesn't want it all over the tabloids to ruin it.
but dang, she's running around drinking gallons of pineapple juice and stuff and telling everybody to have sex and horny as hell. Like,
Yeah.
She's so horny.
Well, she'll at least have a few months before it actually airs, before she gets all that happens. But, she's not ready. But, the girls are like, you all can both date now. We don't care.
yeah, like the kids don't
You are
care about
acting like-
any of it.
Like, you guys are acting like teenagers.
But it's so funny. She's like, well, if he can do it, then you can do it too. So why are you getting mad at him?
Right.
They're
like,
I don't
everyone just shut up. And then cut to Jennifer Aiden going into Olivia is the star
to
of this
another
episode.
kid that doesn't care.
Right. Olivia is the star of this episode. She's taking a break from homeschooling, and Jennifer's like, I don't know if I trust you.
Yeah, I don't trust you. And she's just sitting there sucking on her ring. I love a ring pop. Oh my
Do you
gosh.
love a ring
it
pop?
makes me feel fancy.
It makes you feel fancy.
And it also, like, my sweet tooth is gone after I ain't
You're
done
like
with it.
Heather Gay with the Baby Bell cheese on that little video on Bravo TV.
I always have a ring pop somewhere that I go out with.
I
I'm
had
just like,
no idea. I'll have to remember that. Mm-hmm. We don't see like full on homeschooling in the other cities because either the wives have older kids or it was happening. They were filming at the very beginning of the pandemic or whatever. Like Atlanta, they have babies, so we're not seeing homeschooling going on there.
Yeah.
So it's wild. There's been a lot of footage of these kids doing school at home, and it's wild to see.
But how crappy is it that when you're on your break, usually you're on a break and getting to hang out with all your friends. Now you gotta hang out with your mom.
But what about the mom having to hang out with the kid during their break?
I think she loves it.
I'm just, we talked about it a few weeks. I just can't imagine the moms who got to send their kids away to school until like 3:30 in the afternoon and have their day and take care of their stuff and have a moment to themselves, but not anymore.
Her daughter is so like sarcastic little brat. She's like, "Do you understand?" "Yes, Mom, I understand." And she's like, "That's my little peanut."
She is a handful. Olivia is.
I love her.
She
so
has
funny.
discovered the cameras and she is living for them.
Oh my gosh, later on in one of the episodes when she's all dressed up and dolled up and going down there in her bright red lipstick. Prostitute red. I love it. So, and she has one like lace glove on just on one hand.
Yes, Madonna.
I'm like, you worked that, girl. I hope you become a
Yes.
fashion designer when you grow up.
Oh, yes.
Would that be fun?
I would love that.
I would love that too.
Sure, don't care.
Gabby is also on a school break.
Yeah, I guess all of her kids are on break right now.
And Gabby's being such a teenager. She's like, yes, no.
It was fine.
Fine.
It was good.
Yes.
Well, I mean, what do you just? Yes,
I
Mom,
learned
I
something.
learned stuff today. Do you want me to tell you what I learned? Because I don't
Yes.
remember.
Oh, well, that's the problem.
Oh.
So Jennifer wants to make sure that Gabby's okay after the whole fight between the grandparents last week.
Listen, I'm so proud of Jennifer. Also, with handling the Margaret situation later on in this episode, she is so mature about everything.
I'm loving
And
Jennifer.
her, like, talking to her child about something that upset her. Like, our family never did anything like that. But, it would be nice to talk about it.
Yeah.
And, like, understand it a little bit more. But that was... I'm really, really, really like Jennifer this season.
Yeah, it's nice to see Jennifer and Gabby having some empathy for Jennifer's mom here. Understanding she might have been a horrible monster, but maybe she had reason to be.
Yeah.
Maybe she did. So it was a really sweet ending to the scene, though, when Jennifer's like, "Do you have the best mommy ever?"
Yeah, are your friends jealous?
And Gabby's like, "Don't push it that far."
I love her daughters. They're really
Yeah.
like her older daughter. What Gabby?
Gabby.
When she talked to not Nana, what's the grandma's name? Josephine, about how her son, her uncle, is gay.
Right.
I was like, you're such an old soul. I like that.
Yeah. Next scene, we're finally at the yacht. Margaret and Lexi arrive. Again, I even wrote my notes. I want to be a successful author.
I want to be on a yacht. It'd be bears and hoes.
Bears, boats, and hoes.
Bears, boats, and hoes.
That's our new web series.
Love it.
Oh, you're a hoe!
I do love Jackie's orange jumpsuit little outfit
I do
thingy
too.
that she's got
I
on.
do too.
Because you know what?
What?
It's also looks great. It's fashionable. But if the ship sinks, you're going to be the first one spotted out there in the ocean.
Smarter than we even knew. Smarter than we... Well, I was a little nervous for Jackie because remember last week when she said that she's never been on a boat because she gets she gets seasick.
Seasick, yeah.
And then we start off with the captain like, we might not be able to pull out for a while because the water's rough.
The roads are rough today.
The roads are rough around the water, and the water is rough around the boat.
Oh my!
I'm not having this conversation with you, you weirdo.
So I was nervous for Jackie. Teresa gets a tequila and pineapple.
Pineapple.
I think I want to try a tequila and pineapple. That sounds good, actually.
Does sound kind of sweet.
Dolores is next. Again, I don't remember who called her Sophia Loren, but I agreed wholeheartedly.
And did you notice Teresa's already hitting on the waiter?
Is she?
Yeah, she's like, oh, look at your blue eyes. You're so and that smile.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm
You're
like
right, you're
Teresa.
Jennifer Aiden wins my award in this episode and the next episode for Best Dressed. And not for any clothes that she's wearing. It's for that necklace.
I want
with
that
the
necklace.
lifesaver on it, life preserver.
Life
whatever.
preserver, yes. I want that necklace so bad, and I have seen it multiple times.
Yeah,
in
she
this
wears in
episode.
a confessional in the next episode.
And there's
too.
so many lake episodes in this
Yes.
that she's wearing it all the time.
I don't
and
know what else she's wearing. That necklace is incredible.
We need to put our house in mortgage so I could get some stuff.
I don't even know if our home is worth what that necklace is worth. I'm sorry.
I want it.
I know it's so
Maybe
great.
I can make one and just bedazzle it.
There you go. There you go. Jackie is turning 44 next week. I can't listen. I'm almost 50, and I can't imagine having 4 kids at this point in my life and having the success that she's had.
Oh my gosh. My mom had her final and 5th kid at 33. And I was like, when I turned 33, Mom told me that. I was just like looking at my life and like, God, I woke up at 11 today.
Right.
Like, I can barely feed myself today. What am I going to do?
What am I going to do? Someone suggested they go, I couldn't get the name of the mansion. I guess I should have turned on the captions. But someone suggested that they go to some mansion for Jackie's birthday. And Teresa's like, I've been on a date in that mansion.
I've been on a date in that mansion.
Drinking pineapple on a date.
But all we did was walk.
She's ready to start dishing now, though. She's like, I don't want to talk about it, but let me tell you all about it.
Yeah, she's finally starting to spill the tea about this new man.
So she met this, I'm assuming she's talking about Louis, her current boyfriend. She met him at the shore, moments, it seemed, after praying to Nono and Nana. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
For a man. And voila, he shows up.
On that same street.
Oh my gosh. And then
he was leaving his penthouse.
The first time I heard her tell this story about when she and somebody were jumping up and down, I was like, is she talking about her and Louis jumping up and down or her and her friend?
Her and her friend. It was her and Melissa, I think. Wasn't it?
I don't know.
I thought it was Melissa with
the
her.
second time I paid a little bit more attention because I was like, if I met you and the first thing you did was start jumping up and down,
I'd be like, yikes. Say I love you first. Dang.
Move in.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Teresa says that she's taking it slow and she's like, a little bit lower now. A little bit lower
And then
now.
she's on her back with her legs spread.
And all Margaret really Margaret doesn't care if Teresa's in a relationship. Margaret just cares if Teresa's getting laid.
I mean, come on. Now that you let the cat out of the bag, just admit it. You're getting the pussy fed.
Yeah.
That's how how many times, that should be our drinking role. Every time Margaret talks about Teresa getting laid, we should take a shot.
I love it that she's like, she ain't going to be hanging around with a man this much if she ain't getting that vitamin D.
Oh, vitamin D.
If you know what I'm
D.
saying?
What is she saying?
Vitamin D. D, Bear.
Oh.
Like daylight, sunshine.
Right, yes, absolutely. So the ladies all get food and, of course, come back to Teresa's romance. And Margaret is like, Teresa, I just want you to know that Melissa Gorga has had your back. Like, we have been hounding her for information, and she won't say a word.
Listen, she has been an excellent little spy in keeping all those secrets inside of her. They were probably like trying to break her fingers, rip her nails off, and be like messing her hair up and stuff. Like, well, oh my gosh.
Good for Melissa that her husband is a loud mouth.
Oh my God. And thank God it was Joe, because if it was anybody else, there would be a war. Like, flat out war. Teresa would be livid.
Could you imagine if it was Jackie? I mean, not that Jackie would have known.
But yeah, that's the thing. Anybody in that group, especially Melissa. Yeah, that's why Melissa is like so dead set. Like, I know nothing.
Absolutely.
Don't even ask me because you're scaring me.
Yes. So Margaret starts reading her book, and I've been really anxious to hear. I think I might read the book. I don't know.
I think it'd be an interesting book to read.
Give me an extra hour in my day every day, and then I'll read that book.
Nope.
But she chooses again the chapter about sleeping with her boss, and it looked like when she was finished reading it that she like looked right at Jennifer.
That's what I noticed too. She just like closed the book while she's staring at her. But I liked the way she had her voice in the book. It was well written. I liked the way she explained it, and I love that she named him Dick.
Right.
I thought it was very well done.
Vitamin D.
Oh my God, you are like the smartest bear around.
It was just too easy.
I know, it's so good.
I was dumb.
Ridiculous.
Jennifer tries to start an apology, but the problem is she did a little bit too much setup.
Mm-hmm.
She
like
was
explaining herself
yeah,
first.
I want you. She's like, when you told me the last time at the shore, I just thought you were a whore. Yeah. But now that you tell me this story, I feel different. I'm like, maybe you should just start off with like, you know what, Margaret, I owe you an apology.
Yeah. Well, and also Margaret could have said, well, thank you for the apology, instead of being like, well, you probably can't process things very well, sweetheart.
Yeah, Margaret.
Like, she just attacked her again. I was like, ugh.
Margaret didn't give her a chance to finish.
No.
But
I felt it was very sincere in what she was saying.
I agree. But finally, they get around to Jennifer's true apology, and Margaret accepts.
Jennifer apologized twice in two different situations.
Yeah.
Like, so again, what my perception was completely wrong, and I'm sorry.
Well, but before they leave, Margaret wraps it all up with Jennifer, we're good. Thank you for that.
But I kind of felt like Margaret kind of realized she was being an asshole.
Absolutely. I hope so.
Instead of being like, you know what, Jennifer, you are right. I didn't see it that from your perspective. Instead, she's like, well, we're just going back in the past and we're just going to move forward from now on. I'm like, that's kind of a cop-out. You should have said sorry. But Jennifer, even on her confessional, she's like, I look up to Margaret. I think she's an amazing woman. And she was very nice about it. And she would love to have a relationship with her. Yeah. So I really hope that this attack mode that Margaret is in against Jennifer will start dissipating.
Right. And then they get, during that argument, Margaret, of course, goes for you were wanting a full-time nanny on social media. How dare you? And then Jennifer's like, listen, you guys just really don't understand what I've been going through. Not only are my kids home 24 hours a day, and I'm understaffed, but now I got my parents in my home 24/7 fighting all the time.
Yeah. And listen, those houses are almost impossible for one person to clean by themselves. I don't care who you are.
Absolutely.
Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Just a small condo. Like, it takes
later
a day
when the
for
moms come over, she's like, I lose a kid every now and then.
I would too. Like, holy crap, it's huge.
So Jennifer invites everyone and their mothers to a Turkish tea party so that Jennifer's mom, can have some positive attention. You know what? I was really surprised that she invited everyone in front of Teresa.
Well, imagine if she did it and didn't invite Teresa.
Well, I would have just done it a little bit differently. I would have invited Teresa, absolutely.
Okay.
But I wouldn't have invited everyone when Teresa was there. I would have invited everyone when Teresa wasn't around and then reached directly out to Teresa and said, hey,
ask her if
I'm having all of the women over with their mothers. I didn't want to do it in front of you because I know that you're still hurting.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that I would love for you to be there, but I'll understand if it's uncomfortable for you. Mm-hmm. That's how I would have handled it.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Teresa.
Well, thank God you're not a housewife.
Right.
There would be no confrontation. So
I just felt bad for Teresa for the rest of the episode.
I did
just
too.
Leading up to it. I was waiting for it.
And you know what? These editors are ruthless. They keep throwing in memories in the background during scenes and stuff of what's going on in Teresa's head. And I'm like wanting to break out crying and like call my mom.
Yeah.
But the ship finally is able to take off.
Finally,
they take off. But now we're back on land with Jackie at Melissa's.
Yeah, I was like, man, this was quick. We're already back on land.
Yeah,
I forgot kind of that they weren't on a trip. That they just literally went out to the boat.
Yeah, it was just a little trip.
I kind of felt like they were like on an overnight.
A little lunch on the boat.
So, Melissa makes Jackie and her just a salad, and Jackie, I just literally ate in the car. I want to be sensitive to Jackie's eating situation. I really do. I know it's a real situation that she's going through, but she never eats on camera. Almost never. I'm sure I've seen her eat a chip or something, but she almost never eats on camera, and it makes me sad for what kind of hold that kind of thing has on your life.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
So Melissa wants the tea on the yacht, but gets interrupted by a text from Joe. So they don't even talk about Jackie. It comes straight to Melissa.
Yeah. And Melissa's honestly, she's afraid to have talks with Joe. She has to soften everything. It's like talking to a child about a serious subject.
He's fragile.
He's very fragile. And that sucks because Jackie is even like, I don't want this to be like a thing where you guys are just kind of ignoring each other, like the feelings and not really talking about him.
And in a relationship where it seems as if they've always gotten along so well and probably been able to communicate, I feel it's hard that when you go through those situations in your relationship where it seems like if you say anything wrong, it starts a fight. Mm-hmm. I hate that feeling, like walking on eggshells 24/7. So get out of that. Hurry, guys. Start talking. Figure it out.
But I guess they have a different kind of marriage.
And then Jackie's like, well, Teresa told everyone. How much do you know?
And she still is like, I don't know what she said, so I'm not saying a single thing.
Yeah.
She is playing Switzerland.
Ultimately, though, even with the guys later, everyone just wants to make sure Teresa's happy.
Yeah.
I mean, they want. Oh, here's the deal. They want Teresa to be happy for her, but they also want Teresa to be happy for them.
Yeah, because they want her to, like, all of that angst and anxiety and anger of the past life, it'll be, like, focused on a man now instead of on them, and she'll be happy.
Yeah, and
like,
they can
taken
enjoy
care
her.
of and enjoy it. And see the Teresa that, I guess, was first season Teresa.
First several seasons, Teresa. Then Marge Sr. shows up to Margaret's, who's drinking an iced coffee in a giant wine glass.
Yes.
With a straw. Love it. Margaret's house is wild in a great way.
It's very uni of it. Or, what's that designer on Project Runway?
Oh, Uli.
Uli. I was like, uni. Uli.
With a lot of different patterns.
Patterns and textiles
it's
and
very
stuff,
like
everywhere.
It's very like late 70s, early 80s glamour. I love
it works really well. She has a good eye for it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So they're talking about the book. Marge Sr. has read the book. She's a little bit upset that she thought that maybe she and Margaret had a better relationship, that they could talk about some things that were in the book that she didn't know about, especially the boss situation.
Yeah, well, it seemed like they did talk about a lot in their life. But again, it's just something you didn't talk about, or if you felt ashamed, she said.
Well, and Margaret's like, I'm sorry, I was the adult when I was young.
Yeah. She was like, I was able to
Compartmentalize. There you go again. Compartmentalize.
Hold on. Compartmentalize.
There you go.
All right. Well, anyway, she's very upset that she could not protect her from those types of things. And she felt really bad, and that she felt bad that her daughter didn't feel safe.
But you know what? They have a great relationship now.
And look at Margaret.
Better late than never.
Yeah, look at Margaret now.
Some people never get over it. But, they've been able to make a great relationship before it's too late, know?
Now we go with Melissa is with her daughter.
She's closing down Envy.
Getting Envy clothes.
Closing it down. I want somebody to close down and take me on a shopping spree. Close it down.
We'll see if we
came to shut it down.
Maybe there's a closed down JCPenney's around here that we can do.
Oh my gosh.
There's like 3 items in here.
The only thing that I really care to know, and I think I mentioned this in our last episode, the only thing I really care to know about this, did Antonia know this conversation was coming?
I don't know if she did or not, but the way Melissa was starting out talking about it, you could tell it was very uncomfortable. So I think in her daughter's head, she's like, I know exactly what my mom's about to start saying, and I'm not here for it.
Well, she doesn't seem comfortable on camera in the first place.
And why would you talk about this stuff on camera in general? That is so embarrassing.
I just can't imagine. I meant to ask Heather Gay about that Friday night. I'm like, do you think that was talked about before it was filmed? I can't imagine embarrassing my daughter like that on television.
But if you told your daughter this is what we're going to talk about, I would be like, no, I'm not filming this. Like, period. You're not talking to me about this on camera. So I don't think she knew about it. But the fact that Melissa is like, well, I talked to all your cousins and they all said that you haven't had sex. What?
Why are you talking to my cousins? I was like, where did that come
how
from, demon
embarrassing.
child?
How embarrassing would that be to have your mom talking to your cousins? Do you know if my daughter has had sex?
Well, no, you remember Melania was just offering that Antonia had a really sweet boyfriend who didn't pressure her for sex.
Yes.
But instead of Melissa, Melissa's goal was, I want Antonia to know that she can come and talk to me about anything.
That's what she wanted to portray in that whole thing.
All she did was be like, you can get pregnant. You have big boobs. Men will touch you.
If anybody touches you, they have to have protection.
I was like, why would I wouldn't feel comfortable coming and talking to
I
you.
didn't get any of that from what she was saying.
So I don't think it was mission accomplished, Melissa Gorg. I'm sorry.
No, and you could see that even when her daughter locked herself in the bathroom or something, she's just sitting there. She's just like,
She's
God,
like,
dang, I messed that up.
She's like, I have to go to the bathroom for 50 minutes.
Yeah. And you can hear her yelling through the door, stop!
I hate you.
Her daughter is so upset and so red.
I know. Now we're
and she also starts talking about her boobs.
I
She's
know.
like, your boobs are big.
Yeah.
Men are going to want to touch them.
Yes.
And she's like, Mom.
Yes.
That is horrifying. I love it so much. Ugh.
So we finally are getting to the mother-daughter Turkish tea party. The food looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beautiful to look at, too. It looks delicious and attractive.
I feel like her mom does play a lot of like the martyr kind of character
Probably,
a lot, because in this scene, she's like, you know, her daughter is helping her make food, and she says, do you see, now you know how hard this is and like how much work I have to do when I put this into this. I'm like, gosh, okay,
Yeah,
we get it. I'm like, she's doing it right now in front of you.
Yeah, she's getting some sympathy and some empathy, and so she's really playing into it.
Yeah, and it's just not attractive.
It's what was really weird for me to see was her mom and dad sitting next to her, standing there. Like the dad was sitting down and the mom was standing right next to him.
Okay, and
I was
also
like, they haven't been that close yet this season.
it made me uncomfortable, but it also was nice to see that they were actually able to like kind of be
in the
around
same
each other.
room.
But the dad is always have a screen in front of him. He always is watching something on a tablet or a phone.
Yeah.
What is he watching?
I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of like babysitting your kids. You just give them a tablet and let them be. That's the way a lot of people do now.
Is that what you keep doing to me?
Yes, absolutely. That's why we have a television in the first place. So Jennifer sends her mom upstairs to get her hair and makeup done, and the dad jokes like, "Change your clothes." And I'm like, "Yeah, change the clothes. No belly shirts."
It's like, what? I like my belly.
I know. She's like, "It's in style."
It's in style
I
right
was like,
now.
You
go.
You be funny, Josephine.
Yes,
you
please.
Be funny.
Show that character.
Jennifer changes into this beautiful, like, Mother's Day / Easter type looking dress. She looked really beautiful, very spring.
And she also said that she didn't want to drink because, you know, all of the moms are there and she wanted to be on point for the night. So she didn't drink any alcohol.
She's like, I didn't think about it because I'm not a big drinker.
Not a big drinker.
Teresa's like, what?
Cuts back to her falling on her face in the pavement.
She's like, you're not a big drinker? I don't think you know yourself very well, sister. I am kind of torn about Melissa's little two-piece plaid outfit. I thought it was cute, but there was just something not quite working right for me. Olivia comes down in her whore lipstick and Madonna glove.
Light blue dress. She wants to be just like the ladies. It's so cute to watch her. And the ladies are like, you know, when you're in an outfit, like, you have to cross your legs. And she just like starts like modeling on the couch.
I wonder, I need to go look through Twitter and see what Jennifer Aidin's response was to Jackie when she and her mother were showing up, when Jackie said, "Welcome to the Taj Mahal," if it had a huge mortgage and no furniture.
Oh my gosh.
But well, actually, Melissa, it's been a big thing. Jennifer's been furnishing her home so that the fans will quit giving her a hard time about it. You know, so they all get their tea and they sit down, and Melissa tells everyone about the sex talk with Antonia.
Birds and the Bees story, and all the women are like, well, our mothers never talked to us about sex.
and then Teresa is like, I didn't get to talk to my mother. We didn't talk about that. And then, you know, I was never for a moment surprised that Teresa wanted to get up and leave.
Yeah, I was actually
I was surprised she showed up
She
in the
even
first
showed up,
place.
yeah.
And, you know, the moment she got there, she started getting busy. Like, she was helping get the table together and doing things and staying busy, a lot of nervous energy. And I was more surprised that people were surprised that she wanted to leave. Like, you want to leave? Why? Why would you want to go?
Well, they also just wanted to just make sure she was okay,
yeah,
and stuff.
absolutely.
But you could see how shook she was during this. Like, she's like, I can't do this. Like, I have to leave. I need to go see my mom at her gravesite.
Yeah.
Because I need to see her right now.
I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have shown up in the first place.
I wouldn't have shown up in the first place because it's just too hard.
Yeah.
But Melissa was hopeful that her mom would kind of like give her some kind of comfort being there, but you know, it's just not the same.
Not at all.
But the whole time, the flashbacks of Teresa's memories with her parents, like, even I was like, I want to turn this off and leave. I was like, This is too sad.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
It just breaks my heart,
Yeah.
and I hate that that's how this episode ends.
I know. Well, it's kind of I do hate that. It was a horrible way to end, but luckily for us, we were able to watch like the 2 episodes
Right, back to back, because it goes right back into it in the next episode.
So let's go ahead and take our break now. Now that we've finished episode 10,
yes,
let's go ahead and take our break.
Let's jump off this sinking ship.
Let's
get on some land.
Let's
take
get
a
out
quick break.
out of the hot closet.
I need hot closet, and I need some pineapple. All right, we'll be right back.
I need 5 minutes to calm down. Don't talk to me.
We'd love to give a shout out to our sponsor, Anchor Podcasts.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more.
You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place.
Anchor is where we started with our podcast, and it's been really great for us, and that's how you're able to hear us on all the different streaming platforms.
We love it. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. And welcome back.
We're back. We start off where we finished off.
Yes, we're back at the mother's Turkish
Tea Party.
Tea Party, there you go.
Yeah, Teresa just left Jennifer's Turkish Tea Party. We find out the moms and daughters are just talking. Dolores calls her mom 3 times a day. Mm-hmm. But do they live? I think they live in close proximity to each other.
Possibly.
I do try to call my mom every weekday morning. 5 days a week, but 3 times a day, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I don't have enough to talk to my mom about.
I don't have enough to talk to anybody about.
Seriously.
Jennifer is trying to get her mom to move closer to her in New Jersey, so she bought her a home? Is that right?
That's what it sounded like.
Bought her a home
and restored it.
Yeah, remodeled it. Wow. And then Jennifer, of course, the conversation always comes back to David.
Where's David when we need him?
Dolores and David.
Or Dolores.
And then Jennifer tells Dolores about the psychic. And, I was mostly concerned about Jennifer saying this because, Dolores said due to her religious upbringing, psychics were not something that was okay with her faith. And my initial response was like, oh, no, you're like... Even though Dolores is an adult, it's like telling a kid.
Like telling on your mom.
Yeah.
Like telling your mom on him.
Yes.
It's not fair.
But it was really just more, more fodder for anyone to talk about Dolores and David's relationship.
Obviously, all these women don't want her to be with David.
Right.
Obviously.
Well, Jennifer explained it perfectly on Watch What Happens Live. She's like, listen, at one point, Dolores said that she was disappointed that she didn't get a ring. So we all kind of thought that Dolores was looking for a ring. Now that I understand Dolores' relationship, it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But, Dolores, kind of like in Salt Lake City when Meredith wasn't talking about her relationship with Seth, people just assumed things. Mm-hmm. So when you don't talk about things, even those who are close to you will assume things, and they just assumed she was unhappy.
Yeah. Well, and Dolores just gets so defensive about her relationships that she has in her life. And I kind of am thinking that maybe because of this health scare that she's having right now, she's afraid of losing all of that.
Could be.
So she obviously likes to hang on to people in her life. Frank is still very much a part of her life, best friend, boyfriend, pretty much.
Dolores is like, I'm fine with my life.
She's like, I have a great life. I have my friends. I have my boyfriend that doesn't yell, doesn't cheat, doesn't get in fights and punch stuff. And that's comfortable for me. She's comfortable right now.
Yeah.
And I think with this health scare, she's afraid of losing all that. So now she's hyper, pissed off. People are judging her for her choices.
Well, you get tired of hearing it.
I would get so tired of hearing it. Listen, y'all, I get it.
Well, the moms are totally on Dolores' side. And
they're like, let her live her life. Shut up.
And then they spend the rest of this Turkish Tea Party trying to convince Jennifer's mom essentially to get a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what the rest of it
Pretty much how okay will you be without a husband in your life? You'll be fine. Divorce him and leave him. You'll be happier for it.
You know what? That's tough advice to give. I've had closest friends in my life where I knew that they were in a marriage that was horrible and maybe unfixable. But suggesting that they get a divorce is just advice that I just don't feel comfortable giving. That's a big deal. That's a big. So it made me uncomfortable.
Especially somebody you don't know very well.
Yeah, but they all just keep digging and digging until finally Josephine's like, why do the stories always come back to me?
Yeah. What is this all about? Is this an intervention?
Even though that's kind of why they were all there in the first place.
It's to kind of lift her up and feed her spirits.
Yeah. Well, what lifts me up is another good scene with the guys.
I love the guy. Oh,
So we get
love
to
the
watch them
guys.
go golfing. You know, Evan has a really nice body.
It's slender.
Yeah.
He's got a
It's
great
fit.
body. It's very fit.
It's fit.
And dang, he's good at golf.
And he wears clothes well.
Yes.
That's where I was going with that. He really knows how to wear clothes that show off, you know, his body in a nice way.
But right away, the guys start messing with each other, and of course, Frank is teasing Joe about, "Hey, did he bring us like the kids' clothes?"
Yeah, before
and stuff?
Joe Gorga even gets there.
But as soon as Joe Gorga sees, the camera pans over to Frank, and he looks like a shark that just found a wounded animal. His mouth is open, his jaw's out, and he's just like, "Yeah." They're just ready to mess with each other. They just bust each other's balls.
The moment
24/7.
Joe gets there, he starts busting. I mean, like
Those guys have so much fun together.
It
I
is
love
like
it.
what brothers do.
Yeah.
They're fun.
And when Frank
None
walks
of them can
away,
play golf.
well, Evan can.
Yeah, true.
But when Frank walks away in that polo and his triceps are holding up his shirt, like in the back, like the sleeves, I just love big guns. But Frankie, you gotta work that chest out a little bit more, brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I never noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Frank looks like me playing golf.
And Joe is totally me while you're playing golf, slapping you in the butt and teasing
Yes,
you.
I have never in my life been on a golf course. I've never played like real golf before.
You went to Top Golf and you purposely did not play because you didn't want to embarrass yourself in front of your coworkers.
Right. Yes, that's
But how
true.
else are you gonna learn?
I don't. With you, where I don't care to make a fool of myself.
I'll teach you. Oh, and I'll
You
judge,
and I will
I
have
will
to go-
judge you so hard and make fun of you.
We did talk with Druther Hardenwood about going to Top Golf. Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll do that.
I'm good at the golf.
I'll embarrass myself in front of them. So they start making bets.
The rules, bets, and punishments.
So, of course, the rules always have to go with, like, teenage boy.
Stuff pantsing, or you have to
Yes.
kiss somebody's butt.
So if Frank can hit the ball far enough, Joe has to kiss his naked butt.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can't hit the ball far enough, Frank has to kiss Joe's naked
Because
butt.
the other option would be you have to take your pants off and run to the flag. And it's like, why is Frank's like, why is everybody trying to look at my dick?
This is why I don't play golf.
Right? Is Hunter around here?
Yeah.
Obviously, Frank doesn't even hit the ball, I don't think, or almost hits the guys
Well,
with the
no,
ball.
he hits it, but there's like a little golf ball plastic thing there to like pin. This is where the golf tee off is, and it hit that and bounced straight up into the air.
Okay.
So it
okay.
didn't go anywhere, and Joe didn't have anything to do with it. He didn't say anything. He didn't slap his butt. So it was completely fair. Oh my gosh! But Frank has to walk over there, lay on the ground, so he's tall enough to kiss his butt.
I mean, to be honest with you, I've non-sexually speaking, I'm sure I've kissed quite a few butts in my life just because it's funny.
I haven't. Listen, straight guys are gayer than gay dudes.
Well, I don't know if they probably have been straight guys and gay, all kinds of guys.
Because like
and women.
straight guys do some of the gayish stuff ever, and like
True.
gay guys, yeah, we make out and like have sex with each other and stuff. But like, look, we lay it out on the table. That's not gay.
Come on, bro.
But it's so funny that. But as soon as Frank loses this bet, all the other guys are reaching for their phones. They're already getting their phones ready for this.
I mean,
ass kissing.
who wouldn't?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Immediately, that would be my
And
first
JB
thing.
gets so close to the action. He's
can
like
see
right
the
there
tank
with his
practically.
phone.
That is so
But
funny.
they have, straight guys, they have to make sure before they walk away, they have to say, "We love women."
Yeah, Joe Gore's like, I like women. Ha 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 ha. No, really.
What? Oh my gosh!
We
You
didn't
better
get
be
it.
careful because you went too long without saying it, so you're gonna be gay.
You know what? Instead of Teresa in Love, this episode should be called Joe Gorga, What It's Like to Be a Man.
Ugh.
This whole entire episode,
Kind of cringeworthy.
we love Joe Gorga,
I do love Joe Gorga.
but this episode was rough.
But dang, your roots are showing, and it's not a pretty look.
I mean, how many times, that would have been another great drinking rule for this episode. Every time Joe Gorga referencing like, well, when you're a man, or what it means to be a man.
That's what makes men feel good.
Or men like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Joe, bless your heart.
Ugh,
Bless your heart, Joe. You just don't know. So the guys go get a drink and some food, and
They talk about their old bodies and how they don't work anymore. Story of my life.
Frank's going to buy a box of tampons.
Oh my gosh.
But Joe talks about how he and Melissa lost touch for a moment because she was
just
too
gone
driven.
for a little bit. Yeah.
But he said they're good now. They went to dinner and she wore his favorite color. She wore a red dress, wore red panties. Because, see, those things mean a lot to a man.
It just means a lot to a husband or to anyone.
It means something. It means a lot to anyone when you take an extra step to do something for them.
That's
it.
it.
That's what it. I mean, it means a lot to me when you wear the right thing that I know turns me on.
Right?
And
but right away, they start asking Joe about what's going on with Teresa's new boyfriend. What's going on with this? What's happening here? What's going on? Like, what's happening? I love how Frank is just grilling him while he's eating a grilled hot dog.
Joe resists for about 15 seconds.
He does. But he's like, so have you met him? And he's just like, yeah.
But
he right away starts saying, I love the guy.
He just spills it all.
All of it.
Spills it all.
But that's Joe. He's just a lover.
But again, all the guys there really just want to see Teresa happy.
That's it.
And that's nice.
But be careful. I wouldn't say anything to Joe or to JB because he, as soon as he goes home, he tells Margaret everything.
Well, no, all of them do because remember on Watch What Happens Live, Bill Hayden supposedly is the biggest blabbermouth.
Like, y'all be quiet.
Over Joe Gorga, I was so surprised. So cut to Michelle. I mean, there were long scenes between commercial breaks in this episode. There were, like, the first commercial break wasn't until, like, after 10 minutes into the episode, which is surprising to me. So Michelle is growing on me, first of all.
She's the other housewife.
She's growing on me, first of all. Well, she's not the other housewife yet.
Well, hey, she's coming on up.
She does throw a party, though.
She's trying her damnedest.
She might. I'm growing.
She's in a lot of episodes, and now that she's planning this party,
I'm growing.
It's
and
another
learning and understanding. Michelle.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt.
Oh my God.
I love this beautiful home.
All these homes are gorgeous.
It's very modern, very, very, very modern.
Very clean.
It doesn't scream Teresa to me very much, but it's beautiful.
But that's what Teresa's wanting. She really wants something modern. She wants something completely opposite of what she used to have.
Yeah, that downstairs suite is sick. I love it.
Oh, it's so sick. Oh my gosh.
Gia's like, yeah, we'll check it.
I mean, who wouldn't want to take that? To have their, like, basically own apartment for free.
Yeah.
A nice one, too.
And a $3 million home.
With no neighbors.
Sounds perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Michelle invites Teresa and her quote unquote, and her girlfriends over for a cocktail party to try to hook Teresa up with the guy. And Teresa's trying to play coy because she doesn't want to
be like, listen, I'm seeing this guy and I really like him.
She's like, I met him, but it's not serious. No, it's not serious. No, don't tell the tabloids.
And Michelle's like, well, come on, I'm not asking you to marry the guy. Just come and see if you like him or anything. And Teresa's like, sure, I'll do it just to shut you up so I can't break my cover. But she's not interested at all.
No. And she does not hide it very well later.
Oh my gosh, it's so uncomfortable.
Melissa and Joe show up at a Cuban restaurant. They have a really beautiful view of New York City in the background. And Margaret and Joe B meet them. I can't believe Melissa did not know about the butt kissing.
Oh, I know.
Would this maybe have been the same day?
Well, listen. She's too busy now. She doesn't have time to spend with Joe.
Oh, wow. Maybe it was the same day. Melissa was more annoyed by it than entertained by it.
Well, I think it's really funny and stuff, but if it was your husband and he's still doing stuff like getting his ass kissed from his friends and everyone filming it, I'm like, how old are you?
You know what? I say never lose that childlike wonder.
You know, I want to be loved. Is that a problem?
I say never lose it. I say keep getting your butt kissed and kissing butts, Joe Gorga. That's what I say.
I love that Joe is talking to the waiter. He's like, bring some chicas over when he's over.
Yeah.
She didn't know what chicas meant.
I want to see what that waiter looks like behind the mask.
He had amazing eyebrows and eyes. Like, he looked really nice.
Take
But I love it that he's like, it means girls. And she's all disgusted. And she's like, bring some chiquitos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he said Chiquita
he said Chiquita. She said Chiquitos, and that's male, right?
Right.
Yes. And she's just like, yeah. And he's like, what are you gonna do with that? I'll show him how an Italian girl does it.
Yeah. Margaret and Melissa talk about the Turkish Tea Party, and Joe confirms that Teresa went straight to her mother's grave. And then this is also, Melissa finds out that Joe, this had to have been the same day.
Yeah, it had to.
Because she finds out that Joe spilled the tea at the golf course. And Teresa's like, we're not banging. And Margaret's like, they're banging.
Totally. Margaret's like, they are banging.
That's all Margaret cares about.
That's all she cares about. But Melissa is blown away that Joe said anything about this new guy.
Yeah.
And I'm also surprised that Joe, just from meeting him just a couple times, has spent enough time to him to like him so strongly.
Oh, yeah.
So it could have just been like, hey, I met him like once or twice. They had to have spent time together.
I wonder if they knew each other before.
There's something, because it's Joe. How would he be that strongly love somebody so, like, he really loves the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks he's amazing. So he had to have spent more than just 2 or 3 times with this guy.
Right, yeah. There's a lot of just really short scenes in this episode, because now we're already moving over to Dolores.
Heading to the doctor.
Getting the results of her biopsy. And we hear more about how Dolores has this all set up just right, despite what her friends say.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was saying. That's why, like, and also with this scare, she's really hyper-focused on what she has in her life right now, and she doesn't want to lose any part of it.
Right. And then we start off another scene with Margaret yelling, Joe! And everyone getting ready for Michelle's cocktail party. Evan's looking forward to drinking.
Well, and every single one of these wives are warning their husbands to be careful of Joe Gorga and his drinking.
Yep, we hear it multiple times. Be careful. Don't drink with Joe
Multiple
Gorga.
times from all these women.
Melissa is impressed with Michelle for the way that she, like, immediately owned her deal and apologized. And so Melissa's like, I kind of like her. So here we go. Michelle,
well, she's going to be the next housewife.
Teresa is getting ready with her makeup artist and Gia.
And there's 3 pineapples behind her. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah.
But she's already not interested in a guy being there. Already.
And then Frank shows up. He cleans
Screaming.
up so good.
He's screaming.
Dolores! Where are ya? She's like, I'm in my closet.
You would think that by him not wearing a t-shirt that he was, like, doing brain surgery. I know. Like, Frank not wearing a t-shirt is a big deal.
I could only imagine what neck size he is, because I don't think you could ever put a tie on him.
Yeah,
at all,
every shirt has to be custom
it's
made.
So funny. But I do love that Dolores has roller skating shoes, because her friends had a roller skating party, which I do have to mention. We met this awesome, well, she was a fan of ours at this dinner or party that we went to with Heather Gay. And she is having an 80s themed birthday party at a roller skating rink. And we immediately invited ourselves.
No, Hunter immediately invited us. Like, we had just met this woman. She knew us from the podcast, and she knew us through the people at Beauty Lab and Laser. But this is the first night meeting, and we find out that she's having an 80s themed roller skating birthday party. And Hunter's like, oh, we'll be there.
And trust, we will have like multiple outfit changes during that night.
Amen.
Because that is amazing.
That is everything I want in life.
That's all I want, is to go to an 80s themed roller
back
skating
in the
party.
day, I was like 2D from the Facts of Life. I never took my roller skates off. I had my roller skates on. I wore them to bed sometimes. I wore them to, like, I always had my roller skates on.
I love it though. So I know that she does listen to the podcast, so we're still available for your birthday party.
So Dolores is cancer-free, and she's ready to celebrate.
Yay!
Frank gets really emotional and is like telling her how much he loves her. She's like, we don't talk like that, Frank.
I know.
Dolores, emotions are okay. It's okay to feel.
Frank, he's a big guy, but he has feelings.
Well, I want Dolores to feel feelings.
I know.
It's okay.
I think a lot of the women are kind of over this independent, single kind of Dolores. Well, she's not single, but she's pretty much single.
Well,
independent.
no, I would say Dolores.
I don't think these women want to see her like that anymore. They want to see her taken care of.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I just want Dolores to be okay to cry. I want Dolores to be okay to
Listen,
feel.
just speak about her dog. Just
Yeah,
speak about
yeah.
her dog, and she'll start crying. All the men are showing up in the button-ups and jackets. Very nice.
Yeah, except for Joe Gorga. He's like, do I have to wear a suit? And Melissa's like, no. And then all the guys come in suits.
Yeah.
or at least a jacket, a suit jacket. And then we finally get to the party, which is, you know, what this whole episode has been leading up to. Michelle's hair looks beautiful, and so does her husband's hair looks great. Can you remember how bad?
Yeah, because it looked bad. Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't like it in that first episode. So they both looked really great. Teresa looks smoking hot in that black dress with the sequin sleeve and the sequin shoulder. The Gorgas show up ready to drink.
Woo! And right away, everyone starts talking about Joe getting his ass kissed.
I've eaten much better ass than that.
I went to party with Melissa and Joe Gorga and Whitney and Justin.
I don't know if I want to get drunk with Joe Gorga anymore. He's starting to get a little messy.
Well, this episode,
I think he's got too much stuff on his plate, so I don't really want to party with him.
Okay,
I'll
fair.
party with Frank.
Fair. So there is kind of a montage of everyone talking about and looking at Joe's ass kissing video.
Yes.
And then Margaret tells everyone that Joe spilled the tea and said that Teresa was in love. And when she told everyone, she told that everyone, which included Michelle, who's like, oh no.
Oh, the guy that I'm trying to hook her up with. I wish she would have said something.
Oops.
But I'm just glad that guy wasn't standing right there.
Right. And I mean, who was Michelle trying to hook her up with anyway? Who was that guy?
Well, basically, she's like, he's a nice guy and he's successful. That's basically what her selling points were on it. Keep
I
selling
know-
houses, honey.
I know Teresa was kind of linked up with younger guys, but I don't think she wants to marry a guy that young with as many kids as she has. I think her current boyfriend, Louis, is closer to her age.
Oh, okay.
But Teresa kind of walks by and hears the conversation. She's like, what? Huh? Who said what?
Huh? What? Who said that? What? Who's in love, huh?
So she goes straight to Joe. Joey! Joey, what have you been saying?
The look on her face every time somebody says anything about her relationship is complete shock and anger.
Yeah.
It's just like she's so
But
offended
you know what?
that
She
anybody
handles
says
her
anything.
anger pretty well, though.
Thank God it was Joe.
Yeah.
Thank God it was Joe.
I mean, he was like batting his eyes.
And like, you
at
look really
her.
beautiful tonight.
Oh, he was like.
But she was still pissed, remember?
Yeah,
She's
oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm still pissed at Joe.
Yeah, but I'm really proud of how well she handled it. I'm really proud of how
It was because of Joe, I think.
But Joe's like, I mean, I didn't really say anything. And Joe B is like, you didn't say exactly what she said you said. He calls him completely
out. Oh my gosh. And I love it that Melissa starts talking about, that's who Joe is. Joe's a lover. He hears somebody's in love. He wants to shout it from the rooftops. She's like, when we first had sex, he had 10 dozen roses on my doorstep the next day. And Margaret is like, oh, when me and Joe or JB did it, he told me, get off me. I need to go take a shower so my wife doesn't smell you on me. Which is funny, but it's also not funny at the same time.
Yeah, it's not funny to someone who's been
Cheated on? Yes, that's not funny.
Not funny that way, but it is good that
Breaking tension.
and
I
that
guess.
you've risen above it and you've learned from it.
I'm happy for both of them. It obviously was a right match for both of them. But still, cheating's not funny.
Yeah. The Aidens show up last, as always.
Mm-hmm.
Bill didn't bring his car, so Jennifer's allowed to drink.
She could drink.
I just want to let loose tonight.
So the potential suitor, who I think is also named David.
His name's David, yeah. Shows up.
Teresa, again, cannot hide.
Automatically dismissive. Automatically.
I hope he didn't look her direction because she was constantly making
And you know
faces.
what she focused on? Was he sleeps a lot.
Oh, he sleeps? No way.
He takes naps? No.
He's well rested? No way.
He wipes with his left hand? No.
Oh my God, no.
Parts his hair to the right? No.
Oh my God.
He breathes? No.
Everyone's like, Teresa, really?
Honey.
You're cutting him off because he took a nap.
And like, she's also in the corner furiously texting this new guy.
Oh, yeah,
like, Teresa, you're usually in the party. And I love Melissa. I feel like Melissa has a really good friend with Teresa right now because Melissa is like
giving her hell.
teasing her and
Yes.
bugging. She's like, what are you wearing right now, honey? What are you wearing?
You're not wearing any underwear? Yes. A lot of shots. I have several
Oh, my
places
gosh.
where I have shots ensue.
Right there.
I
put
have
that.
more
there
shots.
are shots and drinks being thrown around.
Yes. Margaret tells everyone that David bought Dolores a new Porsche, and then everyone debates whether it was a cover for not buying a ring.
Yeah, to extend the time and stuff.
More shots. Yes. Dolores and Frank arrive. Joe greets Frank from behind.
Of course.
Michelle asks if it would be appropriate to try to hook the guy up.
That's David guy up with now Dolores. Like, well, what's going on with Dolores? It's like, girl, you have no idea how to hook people up. It's mostly about personality, not just because the guy's single and rich.
More shots.
More, Jesus, you're getting me trashed.
Drunk Melissa is all over Teresa.
But everyone is still talking about this David postponing marrying Dolores. Like, they're even getting outside opinions from people. And I'm like that. I'd be like, all right, you guys, stop freaking talking about my relationships. That would piss me off if I heard that.
Yeah.
I bet Dolores was just so pissed after watching this episode.
Oh. Well, Teresa decides to leave for her booty call. But isn't it hysterical that Dolores assumed that Teresa left because she was mad?
Oh, yeah. Like, what else would she leave for?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I forget that she's got a booty call. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I love that. Been there, done that. Margaret doesn't understand why Teresa is so quiet about her relationship. She's like, who here is she going to be embarrassed if it doesn't work out? Like, why?
Yeah.
Who here can she not be vulnerable around, you know?
But Dolores kind of explains, like, she's old school and you don't want to be judged by people. And that, like, mentality is so deep-seated in these women because even Jennifer Aydin's mom doesn't want to get a divorce because she's afraid of what other people are thinking. Like, it's so toxic.
Well, they all agree that if Teresa wants to say something, that she will. But in the meantime, Joe Gorga will say everything.
Exactly.
And then everyone, including Melissa, goes in on how much Joe won't censor what he talks about or what he says. I mean, Joe doesn't have anyone on his side for
He
this
has
moment.
no filter. He's
Even
like, I had sex with my wife in the bathroom just a minute ago.
And then Dolores says, David would never talk like that.
Oh, gosh. And this is where the cringe starts happening, and you can see how drunk Joe is.
Yeah.
And still hurt, obviously, with Melissa. So I think he's, like, hyper-masculating himself because of his hurt masculinity.
Yeah, I don't defend at all what Joe is saying. I do understand what he's trying to say. And again, a lot of this is just ignorance. Like, seriously just not knowing any better. Mm-hmm. But that's when you got to say, okay, at some point you got to educate yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't know any better, at some point understand what it feels like for a girl. Joe doesn't believe that Dolores is happy with David. And Dolores is like, you don't have to believe it. And to be honest with you, Dolores, I'm with you. I'm tired of people talking about it too.
I'm
tired of people talking about it.
It's over.
But then Joe goes into a big talk about what it means to be a man.
And how women need men in their lives. They need that strength. And this other man hurt her and broke her.
This woman is a broken woman.
Did you see the oxygen get sucked out of the room when he said that?
Did you see Jackie's face?
Oh my gosh.
Jackie's face is so, I just stared at her face because her face is cemented in a look of drunken horror.
It's so offensive that he said that.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
Because she's not broken. She's not damaged in any kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, I think
what he's saying is she doesn't want to get hurt like she got hurt in the past, so she won't let herself be vulnerable.
Yeah, he just doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. It says it's so bad.
And then drunk Melissa tells Dolores, well, to be honest with you, Dolores, we were all talking about it.
Yeah, she's like, all of us were. And she starts listing off everybody there.
But Jennifer Aydin literally just kind of like steps in front of everyone and goes, so, were you crushed that you didn't get a ring when you got the car?
I know. Sometimes things don't need to be said.
I mean, she did not even, it was so funny, so big. And Dolores is like, F you all, Frank, I want to leave.
And Frank, okay.
Frank was probably like, damn it, I wanted to party with guys.
I know, he probably did, but what a good guy for leaving with her.
Of course.
And when they get in the car, she's just like, I just need 5 minutes. He's like, oh, yeah, sure.
Well, at first he's like, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah. And she's like, because I'm pissed.
Oh, poor Dolores.
But
Poor Frank.
I feel bad for Dolores. I'm over it. I'm over everyone talking about it.
Well,
it's annoying.
I bet you those conversations aren't happening anymore.
Oh yeah, but
bet they
I
get it
do
now.
understand what the women are trying to get at. They just want her to be treated good. They want her to be treated the way she should be treated instead of the way she is being treated.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you all for treating us so kindly and coming back and listening to us and waiting for us for 2 weeks. We'll try not,
We're sorry.
sometimes life will happen and sometimes...
And you know what? Summer is happening. Everything's opening back up. I've already got 5 events booked on the weekends. So it might happen again, but we're really going to try to get it out there each week because we love you guys.
Yeah, and we love our housewives. Should we talk about next steps? I mean, New Jersey is almost over. Do we want to talk about that? What's happening after New Jersey? Or do we
I'm
wait
just
until
not
next week?
ready. I'm not ready. I think
not
we should
ready?
start waiting. We should start doing that once the reunions start getting getting closer.
Okay.
When
yeah.
they start advertising the reunions.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
So stay tuned to find out what's after New Jersey.
Yes.
In the meantime, join us on our socials. On Instagram and Facebook, we are The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
We are also on YouTube, and we post our videos and our entire podcast on there. And we are also wherever you listen to any of your podcasts. And we are also on Apple Podcasts. If you could please give us an awesome written review and a 5-star rating. We really, really rely on that. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Looking forward to seeing you all or talking with you all next week.
Oh, and also, May the 4th be with you. Because May 4th is coming this week. Like, when they listen to this, it's going to be.
And you're wearing your cat
And I'm
one.
wearing this kitty cat shirt that has cats instead of the actual characters, and it says Star Cats, and it's... But it's... Meow, the fur be with Mew.
On that note, bye.
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Now it's on.
This is RHB Podcast, and I am Hunter Harden saying good night.
And I'm Papa the Bear saying good morning. Not even.
I don't even know.